Here we are, in trouble again. Welcome back, Star Wars Worst to First Faithful. You will find no soft stepping or blaming of our man-made brains here, but you will experience the Droids animated TV show's action figure line, as only Star Wars Worst to First can bring it to you. Number 10.
Who's the toughest action figure of all time? Jan Tosh! Who can stand in for your favorite 80s one-man army? Jan Tosh! Who is the greatest hero in Star Wars history? Well, that would probably be Luke Skywalker, right? Well, sure, and wasn't Jan Tosh some sort of skinny-looking emo kid in the cartoon?
And that is why Jan Tosh finds himself at the bottom of this list. For whatever reason, Kenner decided to turn what should have been a young, slender teenager into a Rambo look-alike. Perhaps Kenner was practicing for their later Power of the Force run, where Lando Calrissian looks like he traded his Colt 45 for some muscle milk. But compared to the accuracy of the other figures in the Droids run, Jan Tosh's irregularity sticks out like a sore thumb. Loose mint Jan Tosh will cost you around $100, with carded mint examples priced at around $130. It is a sad state of affairs when the best thing that can be said about you is that you'd make a great stunt double for some other action figure. Jan Tosh would have fared much better on this list if the character actually looked like a galactic Rambo knockoff. Number 9. Kenner did an excellent job recreating the likeness of jordu. It's just a shame that the original character design was so terrible. Kenner captures Jord's blank, oafish stare perfectly, which only accents his strange, baby, tall, pumpkin-shaped head. Let's not forget his costume. That looks like it was colored by dead flamingo parts. For a speeder racer, Jor doesn't look particularly aerodynamic either. Loose mint jordu goes for about $60, with carded mint examples fetching around $110. We guarantee that jordu is no one's favorite Star Wars character. When he appeared within the first couple of minutes of the first episode of Droids, it probably went a long way toward tuning viewers away from the show. If there was ever an action figure that could turn someone away from collecting, jordu just might be it. Number 8. Qezel misses greatness by a head. A well-done body sculpt is totally wasted on a completely disastrous head. Aside from skipping the skunk coloring on her gnarly space mohawk, Kenner also decided to transform Qezel from fetching young Imperial Resistance fighter to a bad recreation of the Statue of Liberty. Maybe a skinny neck didn't pass the Kenner safety tests, but did they really have to give her jowls? Loose mint Qezel goes for around $80, with carded mint examples priced at $140. Talk about nothing there above the neck! Qezel's head sculpt is a misfire of legendary proportions. If Kenner was trying to hit every possible design mistake with Qezel's head, they scored a perfect 10. Number 7. Droids created another no-win scenario for Kenner with Uncle Gundy. For all the kids clamoring for an action figure of a pudgy old miner with a ponytail, this guy is for you. Which is to say, Uncle Gundy was made for no one. Kenner went the extra mile to include every unsavory detail, all the way down to Uncle Gundy's beer belly and love handles. They even seemed to add extra detail in the form of excessive sagging in his pants. And what kind of nightmares was Kenner trying to inspire with that butt sculpt? Is he wearing a thong? Loose mint examples of Uncle Gundy go for $130, with carded mint examples priced at around $150. That's about all we want to say about Uncle Gundy. We're only 4 figures in, and it already seems pretty clear why the Droids cartoon never caught on. Number 6. The Droids cartoon did Kenner one favor. They made R2-D2 look almost as bad as his action figure counterpart. As a result, Kenner rolled out the same inaccurate R2 sculpt that they used for the entire original toy run. In the ultimate in lazy moves, they didn't even bother to go back to the original design and kept the ejecting lightsaber feature from the Return of the Jedi R2. Epic laziness. At least they changed his body sticker, but probably only because it's less detailed, which only suggests more laziness. Loose Mint R2-D2 goes for $500, with carded mint examples going for $900. Droids plunged the stake into the hearts of any collector who had hopes of finally getting a decent rendition of R2-D2. If Kenner hadn't repackaged A-Wing Pilot on a Droids card, R2-D2's droid action figure would have gone down as one of the laziest cash grabs in action figure history. Number 5. Size From is the invert of qiyam. His face is greatly detailed and character accurate, but his body is as drab as could be. Again, there wasn't too much Kenner could do with the original character design, but even Size From deserved better than a monochrome purple muumuu. You could take off his bland cloak, but you may just find some lazily unpainted arms. His shirt is kinda cool though. Loose Mint Size From will net a hefty $650, with carded mint examples going for $900. As we have seen time and time again, old guys that don't do too much make for questionable action figures. Aside from some nice details, Size From does not prove to be an exception to this rule. Number 4. A figure that fared much better, due to some Kenner laziness, is C-3PO. Slapping a new paint job on the same old trusty sculpt pays dividends for everyone's favorite prissy protocol droid. Aside from some examples of terrible eye paint applications, C-3PO's Droids figure is a case of laziness done right. Loose Mint 3POs will go for $600, with carded mint examples fetching as much as $1,100. Now it's hard to argue with results, and despite avoiding any attempts to reinvent the wheel with this one, Kenner still produces a winner with their Droids C-3PO action figure. Number 3. Qezel Bond, the modest alter ego of the Crown Prince of Tamuzan, comes in at a very respectable number 3 on our list. The figure is an excellent representative of this alien character with great and accurate detail from top to bottom. They even threw in a nice pouch accessory instead of including it in his body mold. No laziness here. Loose Mint Qezel Bond goes for $95, with carded mint examples priced around $175. Qezel Bond might not be any more recognizable to you than Mon Julpa was to Uncle Gundy, but if you are familiar with the Droids cartoon, you can easily see that Kenner got him completely right. Number 2. Tig From is one paint omission from topping our list. Aside from the missing red accents, Tig is a spot-on match of one of the better designed characters created for Droids. He may have been a nepotism-abusing screw-up in the cartoon, but Kenner did right by Tig From in creating one of the best figures in the Droids line. Loose Mint Tigs go for $300, with carded mint examples pricing out around $500. There were a lot of badly designed characters in the Droids cartoon, but Tig Fromm isn't one of them. Kenner gets credit for putting in the effort to make sure that this action figure measures up to his cartoon counterpart. Number 1. The one thing both the cartoon and Kenner got right is Thal Jobin. Great detail in both the original design and the action figure placed Thal Jobin rightfully at the top of our list. Kenner took advantage of Thal's gnarly hairdo to help minimize the detriment that skinny heads had traditionally faced, being placed on the bodies of previous Star Wars figures. Although the detailing on this sculpt are not 100% show accurate, they have all been done with great care. Loose mint Thal Jobins go for around $80, with carded mint examples priced around $150. Droids was a great opportunity for Kenner to make figures that matched up well with their cartoon counterparts, and Thal Jobin is the best example of what Kenner got right. That wraps up our latest countdown, but check back soon for the next installment of our Star Wars Worst to First, coming soon to this channel.